All right, here with Bellator fighter Ryan Martinez and boxing trainer Jeff Mayweather. All right, guys, a few questions for you. First of all, Ryan, I noticed looking through your record, your first 6 fights, all finishes. You were on the wrong end of one, but you won 5 of them. Last 4 all decisions. What happened? Why'd you become so boring all of a sudden?
Tournament format's different than just fighting a natural fight. I mean, tournaments obviously don't make no money until you advance to the finals. And I don't know, the first fight I took in the first tournament I was in was against a dude that was supposed to just rip the shit out of me. And things didn't go like that. I was a counter fighter at the time, so I always made my move off of whatever my opponent did. And now I'm more of the aggressor, to where I'm planning on finishes, but whatever happens, happens.
So speaking of formats, what about the Bellator format? Are you a fan of the tournament style?
I love it.
Yeah. Now this is not part of a tournament. You have a fight coming up next week in Maine against Travis Wiuff. It's not part of the tournament. Explain why there is no heavyweight tournament going on right now, and why the delay, and then why you're having this fight if you're not in a tournament.
I really can't answer why the tournament's not going on. Maybe they have something set up for a later date as far as the heavyweights go. It's a featured fight. I hadn't fought almost 6 months, and my manager Mike Kogan just got in touch with Sam and Bjorn and was like, hey, can you get my fighter a fight? And the first name I guess they had brought up was Travis Wiuff. And I think it was up in the air whether I was going to take the fight or not, but of course we're going to take the fight. We're not here to pick and choose who we fight. And me, myself, I feel like I'm a reinvented fighter. I'm more hungrier. I got more to my arsenal now, a lot more to offer. So, even with the odds stacked up against me, I'm just going to go out there and do what I do.
Now, obviously, you said you're fighting Travis Wiuff. The big thing about him is his experience, over 80 fights professionally. Is experience going to play a factor in this fight at all? Does that concern you?
Nah.
I mean,
everything's a toss-up in the air. I mean, you can have 100 fights and get knocked out by a dude that doesn't have any. You know what I mean? So MMA is a different sport. You play to your strengths and expose the weaknesses. So I feel I'm strong in all areas that I'm studying right now.
Right, now you're sitting here next to this guy, Jeff Mayweather. How's that been different? What's it been like working with him so far?
I love the environment I'm at the Mayweather gym, and Jeff, is getting me going as far as my hands, my pivots, and just getting me right, man. Just ready to go out there and bang.
Now, Jeff, you said he's pretty talented, but he hits like a middleweight. What's it been like, this guy? Your first impressions with him? I know you haven't been with him too long, so.
Well, the one thing with Ryan is I can tell that he's one of those guys. He thirsts for knowledge, but also, I like the fact that he don't just stop at what I tell him to do, and he continues. But the other thing is that this dude punches so hard, it's ridiculous. It's like, when I hold the mitts, I gotta really, really brace myself because he punches so hard. But so I think that I don't know who he's fighting, but I think that they're gonna be in for a shocking event.
I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. Let me get one.
It's okay.
Did you finish?
Yeah. I'm finished, chump.
All right, Ryan. Now Jeff's been getting a lot of attention for all starting to work with Roy Nelson, King Mo, and other MMA fighters. The one thing that I guess having a bigger name that people have started to believe, Mo had an unfortunate defeat here recently, that you guys only work with him now, like you're just a boxer. Explain to us what else you're doing besides the boxing training, so people realize that that's not just what you're doing.
My biggest thing when, even back home when I was training, they offered everything at one school, but you cannot put 100% focus into everything you're doing at one time. So, we all came up, with the schedule, let's work strictly boxing with Jeff, on these days, and then on the other days we're going to do our grappling and jiu-jitsu. And it all plays a big factor, because I can come to Jeff and give him 120% focusing just on boxing, not worrying about, I got to go home and change because I got to go do jiu-jitsu in 30 minutes. So I think it benefits the fighter a lot more, as well as the coach, because you soak in a lot more knowledge in what you're learning rather than forgetting half of what you've done because you're rushing to the next practice.
And the one thing you'd mentioned about moving here from Colorado is that there's a lot of talent out here, and because you're not obligated to one area, you're getting to work with a lot of different people. Who are some of the people you've been able to work with out here?
Well, of course, Roy Nelson, he's been nothing but good to me, as far as, training partner, and just his knowledge of jiu-jitsu, period, striking, everything. He's basically like a mentor to me. King Mo, he's always good to wrestle with, and, he's got a head full of knowledge coming from, his Olympic background in wrestling. Blagoya Ivanov beat Fedor and Sambo. He comes in, and he's a good body to roll with. And then they had a couple guys, I think from AKA, come down. I don't want to mention any names in case they get in trouble, but they came down and they worked with us. Mo brought in an Egyptian world champion, Greco-Roman. They call him Boogie. He's also named Muhammad, working with him. And then just going to the different gyms and sparring different people. It's all a big blessing down here. I don't have to worry about going to this other gym because they don't like me or they don't want me there sparring. It's everything up here is open. It's good up here.
Now, Jeff, how does this talent stack up as compared to some of the other MMA guys you've worked with?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I can't really assess his talent yet. I mean, I know what he does in the ring when I'm working with him, And I mean, like I said, I know that if he hits someone, I'll be surprised if they can stand up. I mean, he's an extremely vicious puncher, got fast hands, and he's a guy that works hard, And that's basically what that's a coach's dream, is to have a guy that come to you and he thirsts for knowledge, and and he gets to work in.
Right. Just last thing before we go, I know you're a big fan of Robbie Lawler and Frank Trigg. We talked about that the other day. Anything else you want to share?
Nah, man. I like to thank God, because without him none of this is possible, and it brought me and my family to Las Vegas, and Roy Nelson for taking us in, putting us up in his condo, and allowing us to be part of his camp and training down here. Mike Hogan for introducing me to Jeff, getting my hands right, getting me hungry, getting my striking going, and Future Legend for riding with me since day one.
And lastly, I forgot to mention that I'm just heading to Maine, looking forward to that trip. I know you're a little bit out of your element, not looking forward to going back to the cold weather, but when are you heading out, and what are you expecting there?
I head out Monday morning at 9 a.m. is when my flight leaves here. I get to Maine at 9:05 at night. So I'm not looking forward to the traveling part, but my wife's staying back with my kids, and it's kind of hard for me to be without them for so long. But the way I see it is, we're going out there for business, and we're going out there for one thing. I'm going to put my hands on this dude more than he puts his hands on me. I'm going to take him down more than he takes me down, and if I can finish him, I'm going to finish him.
All right, man. Best of luck to you. We'll be looking forward to the fight. Thanks,
Right on.
guys.
Thank you.